There was some talk that Justin Gaethje is going to be matched up with Dan Hooker next, and Justin Gaethje is fueling that talk further. Dear Santa, all I want for Christmas is Justin Gaethje versus Dan Hooker. And Gaethje responds to that, Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. Those two never ended up getting matched up, but now might be the right time. They both need fights and they're both not too far apart in the rankings, and it would be an entertaining, striking affair. Those two guys were considered potential opponents for Dustin Poirier, but if they do fight, then they're out of the running to fight Poirier in his final fight. And by process of elimination, that makes it possible that Max Holloway would be Poirier's final fight, perhaps fighting for the BMF title. Holloway is moving up now to 155. Since Bellator fighters are saying they're getting no fights, PFL chairman Don Davis is defending himself. PFL has always provided all fighters 2 fights a year. When we acquired Bellator, they had 0 fight events scheduled for their 210 fighters in 2024. PFL stepped in and did the best we could for them in 2024. In 2025, all fighters again have 2 fights a year. Patricio Pitbull ain't buying it. Bellator's PFL's property. Many fighters didn't fight one single time, and many, like me, only fought once. You said you'd honor everyone's contracts and give them 2 fights a year. You did not. You cut over 70% of the roster and had many renegotiate their pay. As far as the PFL providing everyone 2 fights this year, I really hope that's what's going to happen, and not because many more will be cut. I want the PFL to succeed. It's good for the sport and for the fighters. That being said, I want to leave right away. Can we agree to that this week? He wants to leave and go to the UFC and fight some of the top guys there. PFL is set to launch PFL Africa in the second quarter of 2025, making its 3rd regional expansion. You have PFL Europe, you have PFL MENA, then they're going to have PFL Africa. Former UFC heavyweight champion Ngannou is going to serve as the chairman, aiming to showcase top MMA talent across the African continent with events hosted exclusively in Africa. Colby Covington says he wants to fight Gilbert Burns because Gilbert Burns gave out Chael Sonnen's number on X. Gilbert is ranked number 8. Colby Covington is ranked number 9. Colby dropped 3 spots after losing to Buckley. Both these guys are former welterweight championship title challengers. Sean Strickland weighing in at around 223 pounds. He'll be around 185 in around 7 weeks. Around 38 pounds lower than his walk-around weight. Usyk and Fury stared each other down for 10 minutes. They compete on Saturday in Riyadh. Josephine Knutson says she froze during her fight with Pereira Rodriguez over the weekend, something that never happened before. However, I know if we were to face this opponent again, I would smash. I don't know about freezing, but frozen or not, she couldn't stop takedowns, and that was that. Her teammate looked great though, Felipe Lima, and he says, "You'll be back, champ, proud of you." Uncle Ive says that Pereira's a chicken, because he says it won't be Uncle Ive next. They'll probably get matched up. Prochazka and Hill are matched up next month, UFC 311, January 18. And Blachowicz and Olberg are fighting March 22nd in London. ESPN names Alex Pereira their Fighter of the Year. Pereira defended the title 3 times in the span of less than 6 months. And by doing so, Pereira set a new record with 3 title defenses in just 175 days, surpassing Ronda Rousey's record of 189 days. Unsubstantiated rumors circulating that Pereira and Hamzat getting booked next for a light heavyweight title. Don't know where that came from, but maybe because Alex said he's not fighting Uncle Ive and Hamzat wasn't booked for a title shot against DDP. If it did happen, I might go with Hamzat. He just goes for takedowns. He won't strike with him at all. How would you see it going? Let me know in the comments. Frank Mir's daughter Bella Mir is competing at Fury Professional Grappling 12 December 28th against Gabby Best. Bella began her pro MMA career in 2020. As of now, she's undefeated 4-0. She's currently wrestling for the University of Iowa, one of the most prestigious programs in the country, under its newly established women's wrestling team. Bella's mix of wrestling and MMA experience makes her a strong prospect. Many think she could eventually make it to a major promotion like the UFC. That would be the second father-daughter combo in the UFC. The first is happening early next year, where Frank Mir's former UFC opponent Ian Freeman, his daughter Kennedy Freeman, will be making her UFC debut. There's a bunch of current and former UFC fighters fighting on that card, including Sean Brady, as well as Andre Petrosky, who's going to be taking on Pat Downey, as well as Alexander Romanov. This fight at HFC MMA in Russia ended up getting canceled because they started fighting during the introductions. They could have still done the fight. A similar situation happened in the UFC with Kutalaba and Ankalaev, where they started to fight before the fight, but they didn't cancel the fight. They still did the fight. Siberian Connor Anatoly Nedratovsky was also on that card, and he landed a nice liver shot on his opponent, which folded him, causing Siberian Connor to win by first round TKO. Jimmy Rivera and Marlon Moraes signed with the GFL in the bantamweight division. They could run it back in the GFL. That was a former UFC Fight Night main event. Former UFC champ Tyron Woodley expressed excitement about his deal with the GFL, revealing that the GFL is offering him compensation comparable to what fighters earn in high-profile boxing matches, describing it as boxing money in MMA. Hector Lombard may be his first opponent when the league launches in April. Talking with Middle Easy, Corey Sandhagen is pretty confident that Umar Nurmagomedov is going to beat Merab Dvalishvili. I think Umar probably wins. I can't really see a path for Merab to win. I don't think he's going to be able to strike with Umar, but I also don't think he's going to be able to take him down and control him like he was able to do with O'Malley. I think Umar's likely going to defend a lot of those shots and keep it in the striking realm. Umar's a sniper. People don't realize how fast the guy is and how good he is and how his kicks come out of nowhere. So he's pretty high on his striking too. He has experience fighting Umar. He has no experience fighting Merab. In his fight with Umar, 2 judges gave Umar 4 of the rounds. 1 judge gave Umar all 5. Jarno Aarons was cut by the UFC a couple months ago, but now he's in Levels Fight League and he's main eventing their card on February 16th in Amsterdam. Marcin Held competing at KSW Paris on Friday.
70.7. Digest.
I don't understand how you guys lift weights all the time. It's like after 2 days, I'm sore as shit. I'd rather just train all the time. Like punch people in the face, do a little jiu-jitsu, sit on the couch, smoke weed. Former
UFC fighter Ramazan Amiev signs with NFL. He's fighting at NFL 2. Mayweather signs with the GFL. Badu Jack is reinstated as a champion. Former UFC fighter Austin Arnett taking on Solo Halley Jr. January 31st in Boise, Idaho at Front Street Fights.